Do you want to ensure that copies of your invoices and other transactions get sent to the right people? Watch how you can simply set this up with our automated transactions email module. First of all, go into the global search and type install bundle. And then click on the search and install bundles. In the keywords, type AE transaction, and that will come up with the AE automated transactions emails bundle. Click on that. Click on the install button. Click on OK. Agree to the terms and conditions. And then click on install the bundle, or you can review the components. Make sure there's no conflicts with any existing things that you've got in there already. You'll see that it'll have a little red remove or update in there, and then click on install bundle. So if we now take a look at the screen, the status here has been updated to installed. So let's go and see what it's done to the records in here. So if we go and have a look at our customer, and then on the preferences tab, we've now got these fields here which represent all of the transactions and whether we want to email the statements for this particular customer or not. And we've also got these additional fields here, accounts email and shipping email. So we can now choose what details we want to put in for this customer. So let's send these through for, so we're going to send through invoices and credit memos and sales orders for these customers, and we want to email these ones statements as well. So we'll just have the generic standard email address to info@cloudcoders.com, and then we'll send the accounts email to accounts@cloudcoders.com.au, and the shipping email will do shipping@cloudcoders.com.au as well. Okay, so now we've got that set up. So that's how the customer will get set up. The important thing is that if you've been using NetSuite for a while, when you load in the bundle, these fields won't be populated. So you can use a mass update to update these fields for all the customers that you want to. So we'll save that. And what we're going to do additionally is we will also, I just got to find where that price level has got to. We will also save a contact that's going to get copied on this. So one of the neat things about this module is that we can create new contacts, and we can optionally have them include on particular transactions they want to get copied on. So this is the financial director, and he gets a copy of all the invoices and all the credits. And we'll just put financial controller. There we go. So the next thing that we need to do is that we're going to send all the emails from this module from an accounts email. So what we need to do here is just set up an employee record. And I think I've got one here already called, no I haven't, so I'll just set up one here. So I'm going to set up a new employee, and I'm just going to call this accounts email. And this is the email address that will be the from email address for the application. So I'll just call it accounts@cloudcoders.com.au. And you don't need to set up anything else for this particular employee. They'll not actually have access or anything like that. So we'll save that employee. And an email template. So under the email templates here, we've got an invoice notification template, which is one of the new scriptable templates. So we'll be using that one there. We're now going to go over 2 setup steps that you'll need to do if you've been using NetSuite for a while and you've got existing customers in there. The first thing is that on the customer record, when the bundle is installed, these fields are not populated for existing customers. It's easy to update though. We go to Lists, Mass Update, Mass Updates, and then we pick General Updates and Customer. We can put in any criteria here. So if you've got customers that don't want to receive emails, put that criteria in. And then on the mass update fields, we go down here and we've got the fields per transaction type. So we want to update the existing customers to send statements, send sales orders. We don't want to send them item fulfillments or quotes. We'll email them cash sales and invoices and credit memos. We then click on Preview. NetSuite will return a list of all the customers, and it shows what the values will be updated to as well. And we just click on Perform Update, and NetSuite will provide a status of the job that's been updated. Now, to set up the custom fields so that they work for new customers, we go under Customization, List Records and Fields, and Entity Fields. And here we can change any of the fields' default values. So for example, if we click on Email Quotes, we might decide that we want to have new customers as default to check, so they automatically receive the quotes. And we don't want to automatically send out credit memos. So we'll edit the credit memos and untick that box. Now when we create a new customer, if we look at the Preferences tab, the default values are as we've set. So unticked credit memos and emailed quotes. Okay, so now we're going to set up the custom preferences for the invoice. So we go in global search, type custom email, and we'll bring up custom emailing preferences. And then we can see all the different transaction types which are supported, and then the statement charge which is used to send it from the statements. So if we edit the invoice one, if you're using NetSuite One World, pick a subsidiary, otherwise you can leave that blank. We've got the transaction type, we're not using NetSuite's multi-website. Here we pick the email field from the transaction that we want to send. So in this case we're going to pick the accounts email. You notice in this case there's two accounts emails field because the other one is for the entity field. We might want to use that one there, for example, for the statements, but for all the transactions, they've all got to begin with the cust body down here in this email field. And the transaction email template, we're just going to type invoice, and we'll use our invoice notification template. We've got two preferences here, either send from the current user or send from an employee email. So we're going to send it from the employee email, so we'll send it from the accounts employee email. Now our default preferences. So we've got three options. We can either do to send, which means that it will send when the transaction is saved. Do not send, which means that we won't use this process to send anything. Or bulk send, which will send it to a queue to be sent in bulk. So we're just going to use to send here. And then the email copy group. So that shows which contacts will be copied in for this particular transaction type. Optionally, you can include two different PDFs, either a terms and conditions, if you're sending out quotes, for example, or a marketing file that you might include with your invoices. So we'll save that. And now we're ready to test. In the next video, we're going over sending an invoice and sending customer statements.